Hey everyone! Based on some of the feedback from your Google Forms, I want to take a quick minute to review fair share. You've been missing problems that involve line plots that have to do with fair share. So fair share and redistributing are the same thing. So this problem says the plot below shows the amount of trail mix in the bags of 4 different campers. So I know each one of these dots represents a bag of trail mix. So I have a total of 4 bags of trail mix. They ask if the campers share the trail mix equally, because we all know that if you were this person that got bag number 1, you would be complaining. So we want to make sure that we share that equally. How many ounces of trail mix would be in each bag? So I know based on that problem, I'm going to have to figure out, well, how many total ounces of trail mix do I have in the first place? And then how can I divide that equally between those 4 bags? So when I think about my steps, my first step is going to be to add the total amount of trail mix I've got. And then at the very end, after I've added all that up, I need to divide that by the number of bags of trail mix, which is 4. So I'm going to start by adding all of these up. This also involves you being able to read a number line and knowing where fractions fall on a number line. So this first bag of trail mix is located at 2 1/4 ounces of trail mix. The second bag of trail mix is located at 2 3/4 bags of ounces of trail mix. And these third and these fourth bags are located at 3 1/2 ounces of trail mix. So I'm going to write out my problem down below to add up all of the amounts. I've got 2 1/4 plus 2 3/4 plus 3 1/2 plus 3 1/2. Remember, when you add fractions, you must find common denominators. So I'm now going to go back and I'm going to look at my denominators. I've got 4s and I've got 2s. And if I'm going to add all these up at the same time, I need to make them common denominators. So I need to find a common multiple between 4 and 2. So the multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 2, we've got 2, 4. Oh, I see a match right there. So my common denominator is going to be 4, which means 2 1/4 can stay the same. 2 3/4 can stay the same. But for 3 1/2, I need to change that denominator to 4. So I'm going to multiply that 2 by 2 to get to 4, which means I need to multiply the numerator also by 2. So I'm converting by the same amount for numerator and denominator. So 1/2 becomes 2/4. And then the second fraction, you're going to convert the exact same way. So it's also going to turn into 2/4. And now I'm going to add all of them up. I can start by adding up the whole numbers. I've got 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10. And then I can add the numerators. We do not add our denominators. They stay the same. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So I end up with 10 8/4. I should look at this and notice that 8/4 is improper. So I need to now turn that into a mixed number. So I know that in order to do that, I'm going to take my denominator and see how many times does it go into my numerator. So 4 can go into 8 twice, which means 8/4 is equal to 2 wholes. So that means I need to add those 2 wholes over to my whole number amount to get a total of 12. So far in all my trail mix, I've got 12 ounces of trail mix. And now I need to divide that between 4 bags for the 4 campers. So what is 12 divided by 4? It is 3. So my answer should simply be 3 ounces. This is another example problem. I would like you to take a second and pause the video and try it on your own. And then you can resume it and you can see if you got it right. I'm going to walk you through it in just a second. But if you want to skip, if you think you got it right, you can skip to the end just to see if you got your answer right. So once you've tried this on your own, you're trying to figure out, there's 5 bags of apples, and we want to make it so it's equal in each one. So I need to add up all my amounts. I've got 2 1/2, 3 1/2 plus 3 1/2. I already know is going to be 7 wholes. 5 is 5, and 5 1/2. So now I know I can really just take these halves and add them together as one whole. So now I've got 2 plus 7 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1. So I have a total of 20 kilograms of apples that I want to split evenly between the 5 bags. So I need to divide that by 5. Well, what is 20 divided by 5? That should get you 4. So the answer to the question should say that I've got 4 kilograms per bag if I was going to give fair share. I hope that helped. If you want any more help with maybe reading a number line, fractions on a number line, redistributing, just write it in a comment to your teacher or a private comment, and we can set up some private review sessions and some math merry-go-rounds.